Hi, YouTube. It is your friend and counselor, Attorney Z, from a very steamy summer day in Washington, D.C. I have always wanted to share just some retrospect on the bar exam, the process of taking the bar exam, and some pearls of wisdom that I hope can be an inspiration to someone out there. You just never know. And I feel like if I did not lend my voice to some of the things that people may be going through right now, because those of us in the profession right now are very aware that this is a very stressful time for recent law graduates. They have finally gotten that degree, that Juris Doctorate up there, but they still have one more hurdle to climb. It can be a very lonely process. It can be a very challenging process, but it is doable. Just think of it this way. Think of the fact that you have made it this far. There are a lot of people that had not made it this far. Think of the fact that you have every piece of information at your disposal. That is rarely the issue. The issue is, how do I make that information as compact and as easily available to my memory, to my recollection while I am on the exam, and how do I manage those anxieties in which they don't take away from my ability to use, analyze, and respond to the question. So what I wanted to say is a couple of things. I have very, very strong views about the canned bar reviews, and we all know those that were pushed on us throughout law school. I'm not going to mention any particular names, but those canned bar reviews then are pushed on us again as we are on our way out the door. We have to worry about work, we have to worry about repayment of student loans, we have to worry about moving out of our apartments or moving into another town. I mean, there's a lot of different things that we have that's unfinished business, so to speak. And so the easy route to go that many of us choose is we feel like, hey, I'll go to this bar review. It's a comprehensive bar review. It lasts for 6 weeks, 9 weeks, however many weeks it is. And then I will use that time to not only bond with my friends, because I see them for 4 or 5 hours a day. We all sit there and take notes. We compare notes. We share some of our views on kind of what the best approach should be. And then we all go in there, and it's basically trying to find a needle in a haystack. What is it that I'm supposed to know? What is it that I'm not supposed to know? As I mentioned before, I was a multiple taker of the bar exam. It was a very, very trying time for me. It was a very public time for me because I had already taken another job, and then I was concerned that my employers would find out that I hadn't passed the bar, and then what happens, and I went on and disclosed it, was very upfront with them, told them I have every intention of taking it again, and they were okay with that. Here's what I will say to each and every one of you, whether you are a first-time taker, whether you are a second-time or a multiple-time taker. I will say this. I had a friend pull me aside one day and say, if I want to know what the question will be, and if I want to know how to answer the question, I want to go to the horse. I said, you want to go to the horse? Who's the horse? I mean, is there some horse law, equestrian law that I didn't find out anything about? But she says, no, hear me out. What I'm saying is, I want to go to the Conference of Bar Examiners, and I want to know, are they answering and giving those model answers in the same way that these canned bar review classes are giving you? And if they are not, why not? She says, because at the end of the day, the model answer is theirs. It's not any canned bar review course. It's not, you can take all the multiple choice questions you want until the cows come home. At the end of the day, look at what the National Conference of Bar Examiners have released. Take time out of your bar prep and look at their style, look at the substance, and build your bar preparation around that. Another thing, I went to a personal coach. I actually had two personal coaches because I had two different jurisdictions. My first personal coach really did turn my essays around. He is on he's on YouTube, he's on social media. I'm sure many of you have heard of him. He really did turn my essays around. His name is Hugh Reed, and he has PassYourBar.com. He's amazing, but he does not hold your hand. He is going to be very blunt with you. He has very strict set of rules, but that's okay. That didn't bother me. I was going to be a student of the process no matter what. He was amazing. And he showed me how to use frequency analysis. The frequency analysis meaning you go back so many years, you want to find out how many questions have been asked on estoppel. You want to find out how many questions have been asked on professional responsibility. You want to know how many questions have been asked on negligence. Depending on your jurisdiction, you may have those in the form of an essay. You may have those in the form of a multiple choice question. It all depends. He was very, very instrumental because he helped me with that frequency analysis, and that was a way of studying that I had never done before. I heard of other people utilizing that, but I had never used it for myself. So it was very helpful. It helps you organize your thoughts in advance. So it was almost as if you were taking mini bar exams along the way because of the way the frequency analysis was done. So I highly recommend Hugh Reed. He was great. The other thing that he was great at was he had a mnemonic for everything. And that was intimidating, but it was so necessary. I will say this. I remember Frank and Tom are equally ugly. I don't remember what it stands for now because I passed in 2008, but I will say that I do remember that as a corporation's mnemonic. And so I think it related to piercing the corporate veil. I think it was PCV, Frank and Tom are equally ugly. Either way, I'm just saying to you that it was very helpful because when you have all this anxiety, you have, so much riding on your passage of the bar exam, which we all do. I mean, let's be real. We've got student loans. We've got, we got to pay back our mom and dads. We've got to pay back our grandparents. We've got to pay back somebody at some point, and everyone wants to see us become a success. And so it is very vital that you pass that bar exam on the first time or the second time or whenever you pass it. It is very important because your livelihood depends on that bar exam. That is why we went into this learned profession. I have more tips and tricks. I will talk to you about my other tutor because she really became an amazing mentor. She was very instrumental in me building my confidence, and she is the one who really taught me all I needed to know about the MPT. Because as strange as it sounds, that was the part of the exam that really made it challenging. And because I was not passing by such close margins, that MPT was going to be crucial as to whether or not I passed or failed. And I will talk about her in the next video. That's it for now. Thanks from your friend, Attorney Z. Bye-bye.